Hey, how are you?
Hey, Monty, good. How you doing?
Good, good. Let me put my blue. I thought my blue headphones was on. Let me turn. Wait a minute. My my headphones. I thought my Bluetooth headphones was
Okay.
on. My bad. Let me. Wait a minute. I'll be right back. Let me
Okay.
turn them on. All right, I'm back.
Yay.
All right. Sorry about that.
No problem.
I'm always using my headphones. Yeah, when I do my interviews, I always use my headphones so I can hear.
Okay.
Yeah. So how you? So welcome to the Imani Dilla show. Do you go by
Thank
Mr.
you.
Stephen? Do you go by? Do you go
Steven,
by Miss
Steve is fine.
Stephen? Stephen's
Steve is
fine.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure.
Yep.
Well, welcome to the Imani Dillard show, and thank you for your patience. I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I remember you at the late Edwin Hawkins and the late Bishop Walter Hawkins workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you going there, and I was like, I remember him, and I was watching old videos, and I was like,
Okay.
oh, that's him. Okay, yep. Well, today I want to talk about how was it growing up in is it Maryland,
Bowie. Yeah, I was born in D.C.,
Bowie?
raised in
Okay,
Maryland.
in Washington D.C. Okay, she was born in Washington D.C.
Yeah, and moved.
Okay,
The district, Maryland and Virginia are all kind of around the same areas.
okay, and I
And
want to
so my family lived in the district until I was about maybe two, and then
Yeah,
we
I want to
moved
talk
up.
about that too. And I also want to talk about your music career. You met some awesome, great gospel artists, are living and not living.
Yeah.
And yes, I want to talk about first, I want to talk about how was it growing up in your hometown and your music career.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I thought we were waiting for.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
All right. Well, yeah. So I was, like I said, born in Washington D.C. and raised in the Maryland area, uh, Prince George's County, Maryland, and had my schooling there. And my musical career, if you will, kind of started early. My mom is a musician, a Howard grad from the
Oh,
music department, and the church organist. And so growing up, it was we were a very musical family. My dad sang and was business manager for the choir at the church. So we had a very church centered life, if you will, and it involved music. So I guess I kind of got it naturally. My mom taught piano lessons, and on Saturdays, her students would come to take lessons. And she tells the story of me just kind of being back in my room playing with Legos, probably, and not paying much attention. And she said that, after the students had finished their lessons, that at about age 3 or 4, I would come out from my room and just sit at the piano and start picking out things that they had played during their lessons all Saturday afternoon.
okay.
So they noticed that I had a musical ear, and got me started in taking piano lessons from one of my mom's Howard colleagues, actually, when I was probably about, I think it was maybe 6 or 7. And so I started taking lessons, and I was not disciplined enough to practice the routine. And so, because I had been playing by ear all that time, by the time I started taking lessons, looking at the book and trying to play the notes that were on the book, it was not of interest to me. I wanted to play what I had been playing and had been used to playing, and that sort of thing. So after about a couple of months of lessons, my dad came to pick me up from the one of my lessons, and the piano teacher said, "You all are wasting my time and your money," because he's not ready to sit down and be disciplined enough to play. But by then, like I say, I had already been, picking out melodies and starting to make chords and that sort of thing. So I had kind of mastered playing by ear very early. So from there, in elementary school, uh, I started playing the violin and
Okay.
became a member of the DC Youth Orchestra in Washington, D.C., and played violin from probably about 1973 up until the 80s, when it was almost, time to go away to school. And had some wonderful experiences in the DC Youth Orchestra. Was able to travel on summer tour out of the country and made some great lifelong friendships from that period. When I got to high school, the high school didn't have an orchestra. They had a band. And so I switched over to the clarinet. And I played clarinet in the high school band at Largo High School. Uh, and all this time, I was still playing piano on my own, just by ear, pretty much. But I had um, started to be able to transcribe music as well. And so I would write out the melodies of songs, and and so that started probably maybe my early teen years. And so, like I said, still playing the piano and the violin, violin up until high school, and the clarinet up until college. When I got to college, uh, I wasn't a music major, but I took music courses as electives because of the interest. And so I was on a track really that could have pursued a music degree as a minor, because I had taken all the theory classes and music history and music appreciation, and folks were kind of amazed that I didn't major in music. But when I got to college, I initially wanted to be an optometrist. And so I did the biology psychology major program that would have prepared me to go into optometry school. And somewhere around my junior year in college, I decided, I don't really want to do that. So, but I had just about finished the degree program, so I stuck with that and graduated from the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, with a degree in biopsychology. And after college, I wasn't certain as to what my next step was going to be. And so I worked a few temporary jobs in office settings and ended up landing in the computer field, which was just kind of around that time, just starting to develop. And so ended up working for the federal government,
Okay.
and got a job in an agency that actually specialized in computer technologies and office automation. And so there began my federal government career back in 86 or 87. And so along that time, I've made the federal government a career, but had still been developing my musical gifts. And so the songwriting started to happen for me probably around the early 90s. I mean, I had been
Okay.
arranging hymns and that sort of thing. And even when I was away at college, uh, I would play for church occasionally, when I was back at home. And actually, after I graduated from college, I got my very first church job, if you will, at a church in Washington D.C., Hemingway Temple AME Church.
Yeah, I saw that in your bio. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was kind of a
Yeah.
strange way that it happened. they had a musician who was a Howard student. She was
Oh
from,
wow.
yeah, she was from Bermuda, and she was going home for the summer and needed somebody to fill in for her while she was away, for the summer. And I can't remember if how we made the connection. I think back at that time, the gospel radio, well, the radio station WHUR in Washington D.C. They had a Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning gospel show, and they ran help wanted ads, if you will. Churches would call in and say, "I need a musician," or that sort of thing. And I think I answered one of those ads because I was looking for someplace to play over the summer while I was home from school. So it just worked out that as she was going home back to Bermuda, she needed somebody to fill in, and I met her and connected and ended up uh, fulfilling that assignment. When she came back, I don't know if she came back to the DC area or if something happened where she was unable to return, but
Hmm.
that assignment at Hemingway, I ended up being there for a number of years. So that was my first church job.
Okay, okay. Can you tell me about the company that you are the founder, Stephen Key
Step Key
Company?
Music, yes.
Yes. Oh, Steph Key Music, and also the name of the choir is Stephen Key Company. Yeah, I want to know about that too.
Step Key
Yeah.
Music, yeah. So I formed Step Key Music in the early '90s,
Okay.
primarily to house as a music publishing company. Like I
Okay.
said, I had just started writing songs around that time, and I wanted to have control of my compositions. So I formed the company with that purpose in mind. Uh, and I started my own group, Steve Key and Company, a group of about 7 singers,
Okay.
and started to, we would have singing and programs around the city and that sort of thing. And so I put the Steve Key and Company group under the umbrella of my Step Key Music Company in terms of managing and that sort of thing. So yeah, so and in addition to that, like I said, I had started transcribing music probably back in junior high school, and so it was important to me to be able to make sure that my music was on paper and could travel places that I probably would never see. So I started transcribing my own songs, and that eventually morphed into me transcribing for other people. Um, and so the Step Key Music umbrella then housed the transcribing part of the business. And so yeah, so that's Step Key Music.
You guys still perform together?
Yes, yeah. So we
Okay.
started back in '92, and
Okay.
we had our 30-year anniversary a few years
Oh,
back.
congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. And I've been
Yep.
blessed to have the group consists of members that I have either grew up with at our church or came in contact with in different settings around town. And pretty much the original members are still with me. We've had 2 members
Good, good.
unfortunately pass away.
Sorry
Uh,
to hear that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so as it turns out, the newest members joined back in last October, and they are one is a family member of mine, and another is the daughter of one of the members, and so it's still pretty much a family affair, if you will. So yeah, we've been going for about 30 years now, 30 some
And
years.
okay, and when I was reading your bio, I was listening to Worthy God. I love that.
There
I
you
love
go.
that video.
Thank
Yeah, that
you.
can be on TV. I was like, okay, okay. I love the song. Like,
Thank
I really
you.
love it. Tell me about that song, and also tell me about this. You wrote another song. It's called. Let me find it. Um, it's another song you wrote. Yeah, Worthy God, and then you also wrote at the work. workshop you were on to Wonderful God?
Wonderful God. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
Wonderful God. Is it to
yeah.
Wonderful God or just Wonderful God?
Wonderful God.
Wonderful God.
Uh,
Okay, I saw that on YouTube and somebody said to Wonderful God, so it's Wonderful God.
Wonderful God. Yeah. So,
Okay,
well, I'll
yeah,
start with Worthy God. Worthy God
yeah, worthy, yeah.
was on the second recording project by Steve Key and
Okay,
Company, and
okay.
um, just talks about blessed, precious Savior, you are worthy. Just to
Mm-hmm.
give you some of the lyrics. The video we actually did during the pandemic, and so if you'll
Okay,
notice,
okay.
everybody's in their own individual little bubble in the video. It was a concept
That
video.
was a good video. I love that video. That was
Thank
awesome
you.
video.
Thank you. Yeah, we had to be kind of
Yeah.
creative. If you remember, during that time, people were not really in contact with each other.
Yeah, that was
So,
crazy. The
uh,
pandemic.
yeah, and so that's how that video came about.
Well, you guys did an awesome job doing that video, especially
Thank
the
you.
pandemic. I'm glad
Thank
you guys got the opportunity to do the video together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. 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 So, can you tell me how you met the late Evan Hawkins and Bishop Walter Hawkins?
Yeah. So back in 1991, I was singing and playing in a group called Wesley Boyd and the Total Experience here in the
Oh, okay.
Washington D.C. area. And
Okay.
Wesley was the vocal coach for the Edwin Hawkins Music and Arts Seminar. And
Oh,
he kept
okay.
telling me, "You need to send Edwin some of your music." You know. And
Mm-hmm.
so I finally submitted a song uh, back in '91 for the seminar that was in 1992 in Oakland, and that song was "Waiting Patiently."
So you
Um,
wrote that waiting
I wrote,
patiently?
yeah, I wrote "Waiting
Okay.
Patiently," and
Where
Edwin
so where everybody
selected.
can find that at? Is it on YouTube or
Yes, it's on
it's on you?
YouTube, and it's
Okay.
recorded. I don't know if you know the song that Edwin wrote. He's God. When I come into His presence, I
Yeah.
humble myself.
Mm-hmm.
My song "Waiting Patiently" is on that same CD. This,
Awesome.
yeah, the
Awesome.
CD is called "If
Okay.
You Love
Okay.
Me," and actually, I believe that CD was nominated for a Grammy Award.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So went to the seminar in 1992. It was my first time meeting Edwin, and just developed a mentor mentee relationship with him. And from 1992, uh, I enjoyed the seminar so much that I kept going back year
Mm-hmm.
after year, and I
Yeah,
submitted
I
a few other
yeah.
songs, and so was blessed with the opportunity to record a number of songs with the Seminar Mass Choir.
Awesome. You was nervous when you first started?
The very
Yeah.
first time, oh yeah, because I had never, the choir at that time probably was
Since that's the
about,
Hawkins.
well, that too, yeah, but it was
Yeah.
the choir workshop choir probably was about 250 people, and I
Wow.
had never presented music to that large of a group, and so my first time I was a little nervous in teaching it, and Kevin Bond was the music director
Oh yeah,
during
Kevin
those years,
Bond. Yeah.
and he talked me through how to teach quickly, and gave me some good tips, and I cherish that even to this day.
Awesome. Wow. I always tell people when I attended to the Evan Hawkins workshop, me and my mom and dad and my sister, I tell her, but that was the best workshop ever.
Yeah,
Yeah, the best workshop ever. And I miss it too,
I
but I mean, that was an awesome workshop. I enjoyed it. And the hard part is when it's the last day, you're like, dang. But
know.
I enjoy it though. I remember you were in Las Vegas. Tell me about that night. You wrote the song "Wonderful God" because I love that song. That was an awesome
Yeah, I'm trying
song.
to think of how what the year in Las Vegas.
Everybody was wearing all white.
Yes, for the
Everybody was wearing
recording.
all white, and you had everybody was wearing all white, and then you had the new Hawkins singers. They was singing, and
Right.
yep, yep, yep. You guys
Yeah.
have all white on, and
I,
you was directing. It's on YouTube
uh,
too. It's on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have to go back and look through that because I thought,
Yeah, I can see the video too. It's on Rebecca Matthews
yes, Becky
YouTube.
Matthews. Yeah,
Yep, YouTube.
for some reason I thought "Wonderful God" was recorded in at Love Center for
Love
some
Center
reason.
first. Okay.
Yeah, and so maybe we redid it in Las Vegas. I have to go back. I
Mm-hmm.
attended the seminar from 1992 all the way up to 2014. I think was the last time we had one in Vegas. So
Yeah.
the years kind of blend together in my mind.
I know, I know. All that's all. It's like when I interview someone, I always do research,
Uh-huh.
always. But I remember you. I always do research when I interview people, and I can,
Yeah.
let them know, like, hey, you remember that night?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about that day. Yeah, yeah, that was an awesome workshop in Vegas. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 2014. That was the last year, and then I was like, dog it.
Yeah, so I think we also that was the about 2016 and 17
Mm-hmm.
we had seminar in Chicago.
Yep.
And so that was probably I think 2016 was the last time that Edwin was well enough to attend.
Yeah.
2017 we were in Chicago and he was unable to travel that year. And so yeah.
Yep. So, how you met Ilana Adams, Richard Smallwood, Vanessa Bell Armstrong, and the late Derry Coley and Dolly
Yes.
Parton. Yeah.
So
Yep.
a lot of the artists uh, came through Washington for there's an organization here called Washington Performing Arts. At the time, they were known as
Oh.
Washington Performing Arts Society, and they have
Mm-hmm.
a choir called the Men and Women of the Gospel
Okay.
community group that is it does productions at the Kennedy Center, John F. Kennedy Center of the Performing Arts. And so each year they did a concert and they would bring in a special guest artist. So I got to meet Yolanda Adams that way, uh, uh, Daryl Coley, Vanessa Bell Armstrong. So I think the concerts used to be like in November of each year. And as I said, they would bring in a different artist. And so I played keyboards and did some music transcribing for some of the pieces for those years, and that was how I was able to meet many of those folks that way.
Awesome. Awesome. That's awesome that you got the opportunity to meet them. Yeah,
Yeah,
because they very well known in the gospel industry, especially
yeah,
the late Derek Coley.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep, and that's awesome that he was at the workshop too. So it's like,
Right,
dang,
right.
yeah, everybody was there.
Mhm.
And I see that you was a part of the Barbara show, Dream Girls. Tell me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me
So
about that story. Yeah.
uh, the Howard University theater department,
Mm-hmm.
of course, they do music theater shows,
Oh
and the
yeah.
late Mike Malone was the director, and he hired me as one of the keyboard musicians for the year that they
Awesome.
did Dream Girls. So yeah, I got to play the show.
And I see you met Jennifer Holliday. She's a dream girl.
She's a dream.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so how you met her, Jennifer Holliday?
She Jennifer did uh, one of the programs here in DC. Uh, I don't know. Also, Curtis King from Dallas, Texas, uh, did shows under the banner titled Symphony with the Divas. And I think
Okay.
one of those programs he brought Jennifer Holliday in, and I got to meet her during one of those, if memory serves me right.
Okay, okay. So tell me about what is your are you planning on releasing new songs with Stefan with the company?
Yeah,
Are you guys planning
and
on releasing new
so
songs?
Steve Key and Company had a bit of a break during the pandemic,
Yeah,
and during
okay.
that time, we had one of our founding members who succumbed to cancer, and it was during the pandemic. we were kind of cautious about, not wanting to spread germs and that sort of thing. So we took a break from rehearsing and recording during those years. And after her, Jennifer Hines is her name, rest her soul.
Okay.
Uh, and so
What was
we
her name?
Jennifer Hines.
Jennifer Hines.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have back getting back in business, and after her passing, we started doing some new music, working on something now. We had a few songs recorded right before the pandemic, or things shut down for the pandemic. And so I'm looking to possibly release that as a single this coming fall.
Okay. What's the name of the song again?
So there's going to be three songs.
Three
Well,
songs.
it's still
Okay.
we're still in the planning
You
stages
guys
as
still playing?
to
Okay. Okay.
what to release on the single. But yeah, we recorded about two or
Keep
three.
me in touch. Keep me in touch when you guys start traveling and releasing all new singles, because I always announce concerts and
Okay,
tour dates on my show. Yeah, I will. I'm here to support. Yeah, I
great,
love to
appreciate it.
support.
We'll
I
definitely
just
keep
don't do
you.
R&B. I do gospel, R&B. I
Uh-huh.
do it all.
Great,
Yeah.
we
Because
appreciate
I
it.
mean, gospel's. I mean, R&B is okay, but gospel's my roots, so I
Hmm.
can't forget about gospel. Yeah, I would
Understood.
love to support your yeah, Stephen, and is it Stephen Key, the company?
Steve Key and Company.
Steve Key's company. Okay,
Yeah,
Steve Key's company. I'm here to
Steve
support.
Key and the
Yes.
company.
Steve Key and the company. Okay, okay. So where everybody can find you, so where everybody can find you guys at, like
Yeah,
what's the name
so
of the
we're
resources?
on all the digital platforms. Uh,
Okay,
Apple Music, Spotify.
okay.
Just do a search for Steve Key and Company.
Steve Key. Okay, because when I was typing your whole name, and
Okay,
I couldn't
yeah.
find you. I said, "Wait a minute, I think I'm typing the wrong way." Because I know he's in the internet. I know he has his
Yeah,
music release
yeah.
on
So my
Apple
full
Music, YouTube
my
Music. I
right.
think I was typing your whole name, Stephen
Gotcha. Yeah.
Key. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I'm almost done. I just so some questions I want to ask you.
Sure.
If you put out a single or an album, who are the songwriters and producers you want to be part of your music project?
So the group has Steve Key and Company. We have four, I guess, well, CDs. They were back then. So we've
Okay.
done four projects, and for each of those projects, my producer has been Anthony Tony Walker,
Okay.
phenomenal musician, and we've got great energy in creating. And so this single that we'll be looking to release in the fall, he has also produced and still producing that. And I am the writer for all of the pieces. Uh,
Okay.
I know one piece is an arrangement of a hymn. I
Oh
always,
yeah.
I'm a hymn lover, and so
Oh
I
yeah, I
always
love
look for
hymns.
and
Oh
include
yeah.
hymn arrangements on our project. So this one will include the arrangement of a hymn as well.
Okay. So who will you say that gives you some of the best business advice?
Business advice. Uh, huh. Well, I don't, of course, don't know her personally, but I remember Oprah Winfrey always said, "Sign your own checks. Be responsible for all the money that
Okay.
goes out of your camp."
Okay. Sign your own checks. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Well, you are a gifted piano player. I mean, I was watching some of your video. I was like, oh my God, he's a genius. I
Oh,
was
bless
like,
you.
I mean, you can play anything. Like he was playing Tina Turner songs. You was playing all kinds of like the you did a tribute about Tito Jackson.
Yeah.
You did tributes um I forget.
Yeah. No,
Good times, good times. You did a
yeah.
lot of tributes for
When
a lot of people.
artists pass away, I
Yeah,
usually try and do a
I
musical
love that.
tribute
I
to
love
them.
that.
So
I
yeah,
love
I
when
just
people
did one
share
for
their
Roberta
gifts.
Flack.
Roberta Flack, and I just love when people share their gift to the world. And you can play. You can play anything. You're very gifted.
Thank
I mean,
you.
you're a good songwriter, producer. Yeah, you very gifted. Yeah. Yep, yep. I enjoyed. Thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time
Sure, Imani.
and
Thanks
also
for
your
having
busy
me.
schedule. I really, yeah, because I always said that I have to bring him on my show, especially I remember at the workshop and he, yeah, and I
Yeah.
said everybody need to hear his story. And I read your bio. I said, oh yeah, this is going to be a good interview.
Well,
Oh
thank you.
yeah, yeah. If you don't mind, can you play for us?
I'm not in front of a keyboard. I'm in my
Oh, you're not?
office.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. I'll see you at the church. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's okay. Yeah, but thank you for coming on the Imani Dilla show and keep me in touch
Will do.
and thank you for sharing your story and yeah, thank you for sharing your story. I think you should write a book.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Okay, I'll take.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a good bio. Yeah. Oh, one more thing. I
Uh-huh.
how you be yeah, one more thing. Air Force. I see
Yes,
that you part of the Air Force.
I'm a civilian in the Air Force. Yeah,
Okay, tell me about that because you are information techno
information technology. Yeah.
technology specialist. Okay, tell me about that. And then
So,
yeah.
like I said, when I graduated from college, I took a job with the federal government
Okay.
and for the Department of the Air Force and
Okay.
in their IT department. And so yeah, so that's what the IT piece is. We
Okay.
do software
Okay.
development for the Secretary of the Air Force.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you again. Thank you for sharing your story
Sure.
and have a good day and yeah, and I'll be yeah. Yeah, this was a good interview. I
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Imani. Thanks for the
Yeah.
invitation and take
Oh,
care.
no problem. No problem. All right. Thank you.
Be in
Uh,
touch.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Mhm.
Yeah.